Introduction. To fully understand the intention behind the letters in this collection, it helps to know a little about the man who wrote them. I was in middle school on September 11, 2001, standing in the cafeteria when the towers fell on national television. I remember the silence, the disbelief, and the world shifting under my feet. That moment changed everything. A month after graduating high school, at just 17 years old, I left for Air Force basic training. I volunteered to become an explosive ordnance disposal technician, not because I wanted to take lives, but because the idea of saving them appealed much more to me. In the 8 years that followed, I lived a lifetime. I served 3 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan, defusing roadside bombs, clearing routes, and doing everything in my power to keep others safe. I traveled through Europe, assisting the Secret Service, and swept airfields ahead of Air Force One in support of 2 U.S. presidents. By the time I turned 23, I was a staff sergeant with the Combat Action Medal and 4 commendation medals to my name. But beneath the medals, the weight of my job, and the confusion of the wars, I began to quietly break. I did things that no one should have to do. Removing suicide vests from women and children, digging explosives out of dead animals, and sifting through the remains of suicide bombers, always with the fear that every step outside the wire could be my last. Eventually, my body and mind gave out. After my 3rd tour, I was medically retired. Years of carrying heavy gear and heavier burdens had left me with a spinal stenosis and a numb right arm. I came home broken, lost, and forgotten by the country that I sacrificed my innocence for. I spiraled into addiction, depression, and isolation. I felt so useless, angry, and invisible. But after 2 years of waking up ashamed of who I had become, I reached for help. I got sober. I committed to healing. Through years of therapy, I slowly learned who I was beyond the uniform. I found dignity in hard work, first as a carpenter, and then as an electrician's apprentice. With each project and each small success, I began to feel human again. It took nearly a decade of reflection, therapy, and grit, but I made it through. And for the first time in years, I could look in the mirror and feel proud of the man looking back. But then, it happened again. My country betrayed me. The withdrawal from Afghanistan was rushed, chaotic, and careless. It felt like a gut punch. 20 years of blood, sweat, and sacrifice discarded in just a matter of days. The dishonor of every friend and mentor buried beneath a folded flag. The betrayal of every service member who gave life and limb in the name of the mission, and the leaders that we trusted not to waste it. And what came at the end of a 350-page investigation report? No accountability and no consequences. This time, instead of breaking, something ignited inside of me. A fire, a purpose, a calling. To turn all the pain, confusion, and betrayal into something that could help others. To stand up not just for myself, but for every soul left scarred by this nation's failures. Because despite the heartbreak, the lies, the disillusionment, and the mistakes too many to name, I still believe. I still believe America can live up to the ideals our forefathers etched into parchment all those years ago. But that dream begins with radical honesty, accountability, and a promise not just to ourselves, but to the world that no one's suffering will be ignored, diminished, or forgotten. I'm not a politician. I hold no power, no title, no wealth, and no status. I'm just a man who cares deeply, a man who has seen too much and stayed silent for far too long. So if no one else will say it, then I will. Let these words be your apology. All I ask is that you read these letters with an open heart and know that someone out there sees you, hears you, and understands exactly how you feel. Hey everyone, I really want to thank you for joining me for today's reading. My biggest goal with this project is to start a conversation. I want to hear and learn and understand the stories of every American who feels like they are in pain or crushed by the system. I want to lend my voice to your cause. So if you feel like this letter resonated with you or it spoke to you personally, please reach out to me. Look me up on socials or visit benjaminjohnlee.com to contact me there. I'm going to be doing fresh video reads every week and releasing them. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe to the channel. And if you feel like this letter could help someone you know, please share it with them. Thank you.